Okay, welcome to day 14. Today we are going to be talking about income. I thought it was important to talk about your expenses before we talk about income because it gives you a little bit of a target. So if you, I know some of you will have looked at your expenses from yesterday and maybe had a little bit of a surprise. So let's say, for example, if you are doing scent of the month, and you are really looking at your list and you're like, well, I order scent of the month and I label my scent of the month, but I don't make samples, or I make samples, but I don't follow up with customers to see if they want any bars. That would be considered a wasteful expense. And that in Canada is an expense that is costing you $552 a year. So those are the kinds of things that I really want you to start gearing your mind toward as a business owner. What are expenses that you have been maybe blindly paying for, or maybe your upline always does samples and they recommended that you get scent of the month because they get so much money from it. But when you look at your own business and your own habits, are you making that income? And so if the answer is no, you have to decide, either are you going to cut that expense, or are you going to change your habits in order to get orders from those? So those are the kinds of questions that you really need to start thinking about as a true business owner. What is a place that I can cut back, and where is it necessary that I have these? So maybe you looked at your list yesterday and you thought, you know what, catalogs, they come 20 in a pack. Here in Canada, they're $15 each. Maybe instead of catalogs, I will cut back and do showcase brochures. So showcase brochures, you get 25 for $6. So that is a much better deal to do it that way. If you're currently doing showcase brochures and you need to make money with your Scentsy business, maybe you need to drop down to the tear-off sheets for the product sheets. Okay, so these are the decisions that only you can make. I am not going to tell you that one is right and one is wrong. I'm asking you to think about this. You are a business owner. You hold the key to your business. You're the only one who can make these decisions. So you have to look at, what are your current patterns? What have you been doing? I know for myself, I was getting scent of the month over and over and over again. And then I ended up having like 7 bars of scent of the month because I was not following up on scent of the month samples. So I do other follow-ups, but I was not following up on scent of the month. So is it valuable for me, even though I'm a superstar director? Does it make sense for me to have scent and warmer of the month? No, it is not. Okay, so don't feel like you have to do exactly what somebody else is doing. You need to do what makes the most sense for you. Because I looked at myself, is my habit going to change? Am I going to start doing follow-ups? No, I am not. So I cut the expense, and it's saving me $552 a year just for scent of the month, and then warmer of the month on top of that, which I stopped doing a few years ago because I ended up having all these warmers, and we don't want to have inventory. That is not the Scentsy way. We don't want to have inventory. Okay, so today, we are going to be talking about income. So now that you have cut back on some of your expenses, you can kind of consider that you gave yourself a little bit of a raise, because now the income that you would have been spending on those expenses are going to stay in your pocket or in your bank account or whatever. Okay, so one of the things I just want to remind you of, only 3% of your Scentsy pay should be going back into your business. 97% of your pay should be paying for family bills or family ice cream nights or dinners or groceries or what have you. So if you are spending more than 3% on your Scentsy business, today is the day that has to end. Okay, no more of that. We have to make some changes. If you, maybe you can tell yourself that once you are earning director pay or star director pay or superstar director pay, then you're going to give yourself a budget of, I don't know, $50 a month that you can spend on whatever you want with your Scentsy, or $100 a month, whatever again, you are your business owner. I am just a coach. I can give you best business practices, but it's ultimately up to you to decide what you want to take from it and what you want to leave on the table. So that's totally your choice. You are the business owner. You can't make bad choices. You can only know as you go. So try something out And if it seems to be working, keep it up. And if you hate it, don't do that anymore. Stop doing things in your business that you don't love, because that's not why we're entrepreneurs. We do this because we want to have flexibility. We want to have freedom. We want to do what we want when we want. Now, again, I have reiterated this before, but Scentsy hours are flexible, but not optional. If you want to be paid like it's a business, you need to do the work. You need to do the income producing activities that are required in order for you to treat it like a business. Okay, so going back again to the 5 and 5 system, these are your income producing activities. You have seen this before. So how are we going to increase our income? Let's talk about it. So first and foremost, we need to have a look at where we are getting income from. So I put in the description below, you'll see the printables. There is a sheet and it's called Current Scentsy Income. Okay. Now this is, I want to encourage you to do this just as we did with the expenses. We did kind of June was a good example because I'm doing this in July. So whatever month you are watching the replay, do last month, because that's a very accurate description of what you've been doing. So have a look at your income. And I want you to write down, there's 2 columns. I created this one specifically for this program because I know who is participating in this, and I know that quite a few of you are spending a lot of your Scentsy pay on your own products. And I want to remind you that buying to save is not saving you money. So on this sheet, you can see that we have customer orders, and then we have your personal orders. Under your customer orders, you can go into the order history on your workstation, and you can look through and you can see who placed orders. Okay, so you're going to look at the previous month, you're going to pull up all the orders, you're going to put in their name, what the PRV value was. Okay, when you have the PRV value, you're going to work out what your commission is. So PRV value, obviously that does not include shipping and tax. We do not make money on shipping and tax. So it's important that you do it based on the PRV. Okay, and then you're going to put in your commission. And then over here, all your personal orders that you ordered in the last month, you're going to put the date of the order, because you don't have to put the name, they're all yours, the date and what the amount was after tax and shipping. Okay, so this is the full amount. This is before tax and shipping. This is after tax and shipping. Okay, then at the bottom, you're going to see some questions there for you to fill in. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your last paycheck. So you would have received your pay on June 10th. And you're going to look at that paycheck and you're going to go paycheck minus the personal orders that you placed. So what it cost you for your own orders. And that's going to be the first number that goes down here. Okay. Then you're going to see what surprises have showed up for me. What does it mean if I don't make a change? So if you, for example, are spending $100 a month, that's $1,200 in a year that you are spending on your own Scentsy stuff. So unless you are independently wealthy, I know I can't afford to be spending $1,200 a month on Scentsy products for myself, even though we have warmers everywhere. I am using host rewards, I'm using perpetual rewards, I'm using half off items, I'm getting things out of the clearance section. So you have to be mindful where you're spending this money. So what does it mean if you don't make a change? And what changes are you willing to commit to making? So can you, if you are consistently spending $100 every single month on your Scentsy, can you make changes there? The answer is yes. It's what are you willing to do? Because you are the business owner. You have to decide what you're willing to do. Okay. So even though yesterday we talked about expenses and today we're talking about income, a lot of times people think, well, I'm placing an order to increase my PRV. Well, it's still costing you money. So technically there's an overlap between yesterday and today. So you're not, even though you are earning a little extra on your own purchases, overall, you're still paying out at least 75%. Okay. Unless you're using host rewards, perpetual rewards, half off items, or shopping from clearance. Okay. So I hope that that makes sense to you at this point. Okay. So let's look at ways that you can actually earn income. So one of the first ways you can earn income is by having personal shopping links. So anytime somebody places an order or messages you and says, oh, hey, when's your next order going in? I'm like, oh, guess what? I have an order going in on Friday at 7 o'clock, but if you're interested, I can set you up with a free personal shopping link. I can't tell you how many people, I mean, I could tell you, you could go to my website right now and look, but I have people all the time are like, oh, sure, yeah, send me the link. And then I'll send it to them and I'll say, by the way, if you have any friends who want to shop from it, they are welcome to do that as well. I don't talk about host rewards. I don't talk about that they are becoming a host. I just keep it very simple. And then as they start to accumulate orders, then I can follow up and I can say, by the way, you're, $15 away from earning some free and half off items if that's interesting to you, or we can just keep your shopping link open for a little bit longer. And that's fine as long as you make changes within 90 days. You can read more about that on your training center of the workstation. I don't have to go into all of that. So that's one way you can do personal shopping links. Another thing you can do are pouch parties. So a pouch party is essentially a catalog party. So I can show you a pouch party. I have them ready to go at all times. So this is a pouch party. You can watch my pouch party training on my YouTube channel. So it's not incorporated with this, but you can find it on there. So in here I have catalogs, order forms. I have 6 fragrances because we sell buy 5, get 1 free. So I'm showing them 6 and a pen. Okay. Oh, and a host join brochure. So I put in there my order forms are highlighted, which I showed you the other day, how I highlight my order forms. I usually put in 5 or 6 order forms. I don't know if you can see that, but 5 or 6 order forms. So anytime that somebody's like, oh, can I swing by and grab something? I'll be like, absolutely. And I'll throw in a little pouch. And you can, if you collect some orders from work, you can earn some free and half off items. Okay, simple. So personal shopping link, pouch parties, basket parties. You can look on my YouTube channel. I talk about basket parties. I have them ready to go. This is a basket party. They can take it to work. They can do whatever. Basket parties ready to go. Okay. I let them have it usually for 3 days. If you give it to them for too long, it will go into a corner until the last few days anyways. So if I give it 3 days, then they are actually excited and they talk to their friends about it while they're excited. And then I just let them know I'll pick it up in 3 days because I have a host after you. So they have a sense of urgency and they will get it. Okay. Now in consecutive order, these are making you different amounts of money. So personal shopping links, that's a traditional single order. Okay. So you're going to earn your commission typically on 1 order every once in a while. Pouch party, probably you're going to get $265 in sales in Canada, so 200 PRV. And so that's a typical pouch party. Okay. A typical basket party could bring anywhere between 200 PRV and 500 PRV, so 265 Canadian up to 665 Canadian, depending on how well you do hostess coaching. Hostess coaching, you can watch the YouTube channel video that I have on my channel all about how to do that. And then the last thing is doing a home party. Home parties are where I make the most. This is also my home party pack. You can watch on my YouTube channel. I have a video and it tells you about my 30-minute parties that I do, because time is money. We have spoken about this before. We talked about what your hourly rate is. My hourly rate is very high. So when I'm doing a party, time is money. I am in and out. I get my job done, and then they can enjoy their evening together with their friends, which is what they really want to be doing anyways. And I have found that it is very, very effective. Not only is it better for me as a busy wife and mom, but it's actually a real, it incentivizes people to want to join, because they're like, wait, she just did that whole thing in 30 minutes. That's her job. And I make as much in 30 minutes as I do sitting at a party for 4 hours. So for me, it was a no-brainer. Plus, it's my personality. Some people love to be there and hang out and da-da-da. I don't. I'm an introvert. I'd rather be home. So I go in, I do my job, and I clearly communicate with my host. She knows what to expect. And she lets her friends know Jen's going to do her thing for 30 minutes. She's going to collect orders, and then she's going to leave, and we're going to hang out, and we're going to, drink wine or whatever they're going to do. So it just is, it's a very simple thing that works well for me. If you don't like it, don't do it. Again, you're the business owner. You get to decide what works for you. 30-minute parties is what works for me. So 2 other ways that you can earn money is doing events. So you can set up your table and sell stuff at an event, or you can set up, if you don't have any inventory, which is great. If you don't have inventory, you want to set up your starter kit and have that on your table. You can collect orders and you can share the opportunity because you're showing the kit right there. Okay, so that's another way that you can make money. I will do a training on events because I think a lot of people either don't do them or they don't realize what it all entails. So I'm going to do a separate video on events. Maybe I'll do that next. I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling. And then the last way is actually doing fundraisers. If I've missed any way, drop it below and we can talk about it. But fundraisers, typically you're not making a lot of money, but you're making high PRV. So those are great as we're coming up to a new trip that will be announced at SFR. Everyone has an opportunity to earn a trip, and it's based on PRV. So if you have a fundraiser, even though you personally are giving a chunk of your commission to the cause, some of it you can keep, or at least you're going to earn the PRV on that. And that also contributes your PRV, TWV, and GWV, which we spoke about in the compensation plan video. So you should have watched that. We should be going in order for these videos, but if not, if you haven't already watched the compensation plan one, go back and watch that. Okay, so those are the ways that you personally can make more money. If you do over 2,000 PRV in a single month, you're going to earn a 5% bonus. And that is true of every single month that you do that. So if you do that for 12 months, if you do over 2,000, so if it's at exactly 2,000, then it's a $100 bonus that you would be making. That's a 5% of 2,000 is 100. So that's an extra $1,200 a year that you could be earning just by doing 100 PRV a day, Monday to Friday. Another way that you can be earning money, and my favorite way to increase my income, is through building a team. So we have already talked about that. We cover it in the compensation plan, and especially if you print it off and read what it was written out as instead of the grid. Hopefully that made more sense there. But by building a team, Scentsy pays you bonuses for helping your team succeed. So to me, that is my passion. I love helping people to grow their business. I get a real thrill out of it. You're watching this, you may or may not be in my team at all. And it doesn't matter to me because I just love teaching what I know. And so the more that Scentsy people can do well, I think the more Scentsy in general is doing well, and it's great for everybody. So I really love having a team. I love working with my team. I'm very passionate about building up directors, especially, and star directors and superstar directors. That is just like the biggest thrill for me. But the more you can help your team, the higher your paycheck is going to grow. So I did do a video on my my commission that I had earned at my first paycheck for every title since I joined. So my first pay at lead, star, superstar, director, star director, and superstar director. I share that. You can find that video on my YouTube channel to get an idea of that exponential growth that will happen if you help others. The more you help other people win, the better life is, okay? And the more money you're gonna make, and money is not everything. Definitely money is not everything. Like I said before, people are not motivated by money. They're motivated by what the money can do for them. So for example, Jacqueline goes to a private school. 12 years ago, that would not have been an option for us. Okay, so it's like, what does making the extra money mean? One thing I do want to say before I let you go today is, if you look at your Scentsy business as basically being optional, you're not going to succeed, or you're not going to succeed at the rate at which you want to. So to give you a perfect example of this, I have a downline who works actually a couple of jobs to make money, does Scentsy on the side. And we were speaking yesterday, and they were mentioning that they don't know why they don't make Scentsy a priority. And the reality is if you are not relying on Scentsy and you consider it optional, you will never, ever, ever reach the levels that we do until you decide it's actually not optional for you to be successful. If you want to make $10,000 paychecks as a superstar director, you have to make that not optional. You have to really dig deep and think, what is that money going to do for my family? What does it mean to me? And what if I don't get it? What does that mean? And if you are telling yourself, well, it's okay, then you're not going to do it, because you're like, well, it's okay if I don't get it. But it shouldn't be okay if you don't, because if you can, and you're willing to work for it, it will change your life. So this person could be leaving 2 jobs that they don't really love and doing Scentsy full time. And by full time, I don't mean 40 hours a week, but like full-time pay. If they would focus on their Scentsy business, and looking back over the year, they know that if they had been doing what I had been suggesting for the last 12 months, they would be in a different place. But if you make it optional, it will always be optional, and you will not hit those heights until you decide, actually, I'm worth it, and my family is worth it, and I am not making this an option. Even though currently it is a side business for me, I am going to make this my full-time income. And then you will succeed, because if I can do it, honestly, anybody can. So I hope that you'll think a little bit more on that today and tonight and in the coming days, is to really consider not making this optional, but going all in. Tomorrow is our halfway point with this program. Just a reminder that you need to be caught up on your list of 100 people that you have commented on, engaging with. At least 4-word comments, not emojis. They don't count as 4 words. One of your 4 words. You could do 4 words and then an emoji, but not one of the 4 words. So if you haven't been caught up on that, make sure you do that tonight, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Have a great day.